Hello everyone, it's Friday. It's Drama-Free Friday. How are you? Hello, hello. It's good to see you guys. I have missed you. I have missed you. I'm just setting my phone so I can see what's going on here. Okay. Got it. Got it. All right. I'm discombobulated since I haven't done this for a while. You would think that you wouldn't lose your rhythm in such a short period of time. But it's not like I haven't been doing anything. So, yeah. So there is that. Anyway, enough about me. All right. So let me see. I think I missed some people while I was setting up stuff. Hi, Cindy. Cindy studied for the test. That's good. Hi, Lori. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Dar, Nuit. Nancy. Hi, Linda. Who else, I guess? Another Nancy. Hi, Tori. It is Drama-Free Friday. It is. You missed me too. Hi, Barbara Clark. Hi, Chris. Angie. Nightbot's here. Hi, Carla. Well, it was adventurous. Let's say that, Linda. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Galena. Creative Space, Danielle. Hi, Linda. It's good to see you guys. I'm glad you're here. So please make each other feel welcome. I'm glad that you're here. And yeah, let's get going, shall we? Hey, Jan. Let's get going. Yeah, so I didn't stream during the month of August. Well, I streamed once, but I had to have a break. And it was one of those breaks that I didn't know I needed until it was like, I just can't do this. I just can't do this. Have you ever had one of those times where you're like, everything came to a screeching halt in my head, nowhere else, just in my head. And so, yeah, I had to just take a break. So, hang on just a minute. I need something to drink, so I'm going to ask Clausman if he will bring me some water. I forgot to do that. Okay, try again here. Okay, here we go. So anyway, hello to everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Christy, let's see, who did I miss? Joan. So anybody watching the recording, you can just scroll past this part because I'm just going to take a few minutes to talk, and we'll get into a project in a little bit. Let's see. Angie, Christy, Joan, Krissa. Hello, Krissa. Hi, Gail. Hi, Mama is learning. I think that's Sherry, if I remember. Hi, Joni. I don't know if Race is in the house. I think Clausman's here, but I don't know if Race is or not. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Becky. I got it right, Mama? Okay. Cool. And did I miss anybody else? Two Teresas. Teresa and Teresa. Good to have you all here. So, yeah. So, I got to a point where I was like, I just couldn't. I just couldn't go another day. I couldn't stream another time. I had to just like pull in. Hi, Nancy Dale. I had to just pull in and just take a break from. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Appreciate that. Okay, got water. Nope, Race is not here. He said so. So anyway, yeah, I had to just take a break and just kind of regroup and catch up. Ugh, had some serious catching up to do. Serious catching up to do. Yeah. I'm still catching up. Whew. It doesn't make any difference how much time you take off and how much you're going to get caught up. There's always so much more. Always so much more. Hey, Tracy. And Tracy, you missed me. I missed you guys too. I certainly did. So during August, I was just catching up with a lot of stuff. Some of the things that I did, I'll show you some of it here in a minute. I got a whole pile of stuff here to show you. I was working on classes. I had a major class that I was getting up for the membership at HowToGetCreative.com. So I had a huge, big old class with that to get done, which I got done, finally got up. It was weeks and weeks of samples and so forth and so on. Finally got it done. Got it, where I just concentrated and knocked it out. And got it put up. And then I've been working on other classes, so I've been doing that. And I'll show you some of those things. I'll show you one of the classes that's coming up very shortly. I also have been I've been working on the Beyond Mandala Madness course, so that I have no date that I can promise you on that yet, but it's coming. It's in the future. It's in the closer future than it was before I took the break. Let's say that. So I've been doing a lot of editing on those videos, just working the videos over it. Haven't started on the class notes yet, but I've got the videos going. I'm about halfway through with the editing of the course videos for that, so that's coming along well. And VIP class is tomorrow for the membership. So those of you who are VIP members, I realized that I screwed up the email that I sent out earlier this week. There was a whole story that went behind that, but I just decided everybody would just have to forgive me and deal with it and move on. That's all there is to that. You got to cut yourself some slack, you know what I mean? And so I did. And you got another email today with the class information. So you should have that. Yes, I'm doing every Friday. Hi, Dana. Yes, I am streaming on Fridays. Hi, Linda McAllister. That is the plan. Hi, Janice, and anybody I missed, hello. And yeah, so I'll be back to every Friday. I just had to have a regrouping break to catch up with stuff. So let's see. Since last let me show you what I've been working on first. And put it in all caps if you want to get my attention, because I might or might not see it. They've changed the chat, YouTube chat. They've changed that, and so it's not very easy for me to see it at this point. And I won't go into any of those details because I will get it figured out. But at the moment, it just kind of went. A lot of stuff kind of went like that. All right, let me show you what I've been working on just so you have an idea. We got the camera situation sorted out, so I think we're good there. Finally. So some of the things I've been working on, this is the latest class that went online, so I'm just going to show you some of the samples from that, just because I thought you might enjoy seeing it. And I will try to catch the chat here as I look up every little bit. Hi, Shu. All right, here we go. So this is some of what I was working on for the class that just went up, and I just thought I would show you some of the things from that class. This class was called Non-Woven Wonders. That's the latest class that went up this week. And so here are some of the things that I did. I see I still have some blue tack on my samples left over from the picture I took. Some of the things that we covered in this class are craft tex. So this is craft tex. These were all non-woven materials, and many of them, all of them used in kind of unconventional ways. This is using craft felt, that stiff craft felt, and doing some cool stuff with that. This is using fusible web in all different kinds of ways. Not at all that as it was intended to be used for its intended purposes at all. So these are all different kinds of fusible web. This is fabric paper, which I've shown this technique quite a few times in different forms. There's a video here on YouTube that you can access and look. It's a free class, one of the sample classes from the website. And so I did some different things with the fabric paper this time. So changing that up, so using fabric and paper together. We also covered, and all of these are just an introduction to each of these materials. This is called Lutradur. This is using my favorite interfacing that I use all the time and doing some cool stuff. This is the fusible side of interfacing and just doing some fun stuff with that. So this is interfacing. And I'll be doing a book, a non-woven book. And so we'll be doing, pardon me, we'll be doing that in an upcoming class. It'll be coming up pretty soon. Hi, Ina. Let's see. Hi, Beth. So yeah, so this is a fusible. Let's see, is this one? No, this one. Yeah, this one was fusible fleece, and so using it again in non-traditional ways. This is stabilizer. That's one of my favorite things to do. So to use is, this is a stabilizer meant for embroidery and machine stitching and so forth. So this is one treatment. This is where the stabilizer, which is water soluble. And so what I used on this one was, or what I did to get this effect was I dyed it. So you have to be a little careful with that. This is another product called Decor Bond or Decor Bond, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It's a rather stiff interfacing. So using that, again, not as it's intended to be used at all. And another material that I absolutely love is called Swedish tracing paper. And here's an example of a couple of different things done with the Swedish tracing paper. These are both Swedish tracing paper. It actually is just a white, thin kind of material. So that is Swedish tracing paper. This is not even everything that's in this class. So you can see why it took a while to get it sorted out for everybody. This is a non-fusible craft fleece. But you can just, hopefully you can just kind of get an idea, a flavor for all the fun things you can do with this. This is, believe it or not, is a thing you wash your face with. They're meant to be thrown away. Don't throw stuff away. If you can avoid it, turn it in, recycle it into something fun to do, fun to use. This is an extra firm stabilizer with kids' watercolors, believe it or not, and some other stuff. This is a really fun product that I have had in my stash for the longest kind of time. And this is called Multex. I don't think they make it anymore, but you can still buy it until they run out of supplies. But this is Multex. So these are just a few of the samples. Probably, maybe, I don't know, 2/3 of the samples from that class. So a lot of things going on. A lot of fun brain things going on for me, creative things. That was a lot of fun. I loved doing that class. I loved doing that, preparing that. It was great. What else have I been doing? This is a class that is coming up shortly, but I just want to show it to you. Have you ever heard of silk paper? If not, I'm going to show you some examples. I've been creating silk paper this month. So I cover this in this current class, but then I go into detail in a subsequent class. So I just thought I would just show you. It's eye candy, man. It is eye candy. It is eye candy. So this is all silk paper. This is all silk paper. So this is made using silk roving, and then turned into a paper type substance, and then you can fusible to the back, and you can do all kinds of cool stuff. So here's another one. You can fuse things into it. You can do such fun things. This is another piece of it. This is a combination of all different kinds of silk fibers, from batting to there's batting and noil and roving, and there's soy roving, and there's just all kinds of stuff. Anyway, silk paper, but it's very much a papery substance. And then after you use it, you get all these cool things left over. And this is an example of something I did with it. So this is all the silk paper on here to make a little miniature piece of art or postcard. So that's that. So that's silk paper. That is an upcoming class that is just about ready to roll out. I always hesitate to promise because I never know quite how life is going to show up. We had some super unexpected stuff happening in August that nobody was ready for in our family, and so we just, you just never know. You just never know what's gonna happen. Let's see. So, hello, Hermie. Let's see. Anybody else? If I missed you, please know that I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. Give you a sneak peek about the VIP class that's coming up tomorrow. Just so you know, I haven't been sitting around doing nothing. I haven't been sitting around doing nothing. And I missed one of my samples. I'll be right back. Okay. Is Dorothy here? There she is. Hi, Dorothy. Sounds like you're August. Yeah. That was a little crazy. Anyway, so this is what the VIP class is going to be covering. I'm going to show you how to make repeating patterns, that you create a pattern like this and it will repeat top to bottom and side to side. Now, whether I can put this, even though I drew it, okay, here we go. So that is the pattern. This is the pattern, and then you can make so it will repeat every direction. So that's what we're going to cover in the VIP class. So that's one example. And then of course you can take those patterns and you can color them and use them for all kinds of things. So you can start out with something small, even smaller than this, doesn't have to be this size. And you can make your own repeating patterns, and if you draw them or stamp them with your own hand-carved stamps, man, you can do some really cool stuff. And when you're done, you come up with your own finished product. It's your design. Example is this one, and this design, let's see if I can find where it goes here. So you have to really think about I have to find it. Here we go. Gosh, you'd think. So there's the design that repeats every direction. So there's the pattern. These were flowers that I drew. Nothing out of the ordinary, these roses, but those were roses that I drew. These were leaves from my ivy bed, and I used those as my pattern, and then I created it on fabric. So by the time I'm finished painting this, I'm going to have fabric. These are just begun, so I still have some work to do on these. But by the time it's finished, then I have a piece of fabric to do something wonderful with. Don't know what, but something wonderful with it, using my own patterns. Now, your classes wouldn't, the classes wouldn't overwhelm you. I really don't believe that they would. Those of you that are members of the website you can answer those questions. You can answer whether it's overwhelming or not. I try to go very, very step by step. Let's see, some of the other classes coming up. This is just to give you an overview and what I've been doing during the time when I wasn't streaming. I'm going to do a class on fun and simple dyeing. Super simple, super fun, non-toxic, not working with toxic anything. Well, you won't want to drink it, but anyway. So we're going to do a class on that. I'm planning to film that this coming week. And then the book, the non-woven book, using samples from that class that have all the different, we're not going to use all the different, we're going to use some of the things done in that non-woven wonders class. And so those are upcoming things. So there you go. All right, let's take a look back at what we did the last time. No, not the last time I was with you. The end of July, I created this. We were testing out, we were trying to get cameras sorted. And so back in the end of July, Race was here. And make sure that if there's anything you want me to know, that you put it in all caps. Put it in all caps so I'll see it. So back the end of July, when Race was here and Isabel was with him, we did this we were testing cameras. And so this was a mandala from one of the books. I think it was Mandala Medley, but I don't remember, honestly. As I'm fond of saying, I slept since then. And so we did this, which was using, that video is here on YouTube, and I used aloe vera as the medium, and the color was Inktense pencils, I think, wasn't it? I think it was pencils. Anyway, after that was all done, and I got all the color painted on because we couldn't do it during the stream, then what I did was I used all different kinds of pens and paint pens, and I used fabric paint pens is what I used to do all the embellishments. So all the pen work on here is done with, most of them are felt tip fabric markers of some kind. So that is how that finished up, in case you were here and you wanted to see. Sometimes I forget to show you the rest of the story. I almost always finish the projects that I start, but I don't always show them because I forget. And so this is the cover for a journal. This is the cover for a moleskin journal. Like this. So this is, it's a 4x8, I believe. I'll measure it here in just a second. As soon as I remember where I stuck my ruler. 5 by 8 1/4. I wasn't even close. Anyway, 5 by 8 1/4 is this size moleskin notebook. It is I think this is a traveler's size, but I could be wrong. Anyway, they come 3 in a pack, and this is my favorite writing paper. And that is what I did with this. I glued that to the cover. Okay, so it's glued to the cover of the moleskin. And then in order to stop this from fraying, because it will fray and fray and fray and fray, so to stop that, I just used some acrylic paint and my finger, and I just tapped that acrylic paint on the edge. So you see that, so it makes a nice border. And this was Lumiere paint, is what that was. Bye, Beth. Thanks for stopping by. And so that is what has sealed the edges all the way around. So that's a Lumiere acrylic fabric paint. Sorry, my throat decided to go south for a second. So that's what's all the way around. And it gives it a nice edge. So it forms a nice edge with the paint, because once that dries, it seals that in. Teresa, no, I did not. Which book are you talking about? All the books let me just say this. All the books that I've written are all available. If you're talking about Normal Doesn't Live Here Anymore, that is available on Amazon. As is Creating Faces, Needle Sculpting from the Beginning. That's on Amazon. Those are printed books. And there's also the audio book of Normal Doesn't Live Here Anymore. That's on audible.com. And I also have it on CDs. And all of our mandala books are on the website, HowToGetCreative.com. So yeah, everything's available. Everything's available. Okay, so that is what I did with this little journal. And then I just put this is a ribbon. It was a fairly wide ribbon. I cut it down so it's going to ravel for a little bit, because I didn't want it to be as wide as the ribbon came. And so I just cut it down and glued it to the front. The reason I put this on here is because the front, here's the back, right? There's the front. They look exactly the same. And I was always picking it up the wrong way. I'd pick it up like this, and that's the wrong way. This is the way I want to pick it up. I know it's a small thing, but that's what I want to make it easy for myself. Life is too short to be frustrated by your journal, picking up your journal and having it upside down. You know what I mean? Anyway. So anyway, that is how this turned out, just so you can see how it turned out. Okay? All right. You're welcome, Teresa. Let me put my every journal I have, unless it's brand new, like this one is brand new, so there's nothing stuck into it. Every other journal I have, and I mean every journal, of which there are many, always have junk stuck in them. I'm probably the only one that does that. That is true. Okay, the other thing we did, let me find it before I flip to it. The other thing I did in August, I received a box of, it had 2 different kinds of art supplies in it from the company Arteza. And so I unboxed those, and then I did this mandala. Hey, Shelly. So this is what I did with the Arteza products. I used both. Let's see, what did they send? They sent watercolor pencils and it was a box of 48. I think they're called real brush markers or something like that. They're I think it's watercolor in a pen, brush pen. Anyway, that's what this is done with. And then all of the inside stuff, all the embellishment, that's all done with all different kinds of gel pens. But all the outside And all the color, the initial color is all done using those, testing out those, for lack of a better word, it's kind of swatching those products just to see what they were like. So there you go. That is how that turned out. So any of you that were with me, it was the middle of August when we did that. It was kind of an impromptu stream. That's how it turned out. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. That's how it turned out. All right. So any questions so far? Any questions so far? Let me check the chat here for a minute. I'm glad you could just stop by, Becky. I understand. I hear you. I hear you and I see you. Believe it or not. Okay, that's it. So what we're going to do today is, I thought we would just make a little book thing. A little book thing. Because sometimes it's fun just to do something that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Just something that doesn't matter. So I thought it would be fun to take one of our old favorites, one of our old favorite things, a file folder, and do something with it. So here we go. We have a file folder and a ruler. And I'm going to use a rotary cutter. Hey, hi, Laura. Hi, Amalia. So we're going to use the file folder. And, you know, you can buy different kinds of file folders, or you can recycle a file folder. Completely up to you. Whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Completely up to you. I'm going to show you the one that's in process. So this is one that's in process, and so I'm going to keep the tab. This is just going to be a booklet, something that I can stuff in my purse to keep notes in or whatever. I'm going to put a little pocket in it, bind in some pages, and so it's nothing real fancy. It's good to do things that aren't fancy, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm barely started streaming and I already have no room on my table. I already have no room on my table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the tab, or that's my intention, is to keep the tab. And I'm going to turn my tab over on this side so that I can measure from the tab. And I'm going to measure 8 3/4 inches. Let's see, how did I do this? Now that I've done it, now I got to look back at my notes. 8 3/4 inches is the magic number. Okay, yeah. Okay. Hey, Shannon. Okay, so I'm going to use my ruler. This is a quilting ruler. I'm going to put the 8 3/4 mark. And these are American file folders. I have no idea what other file folders are outside the United States. So you'll have to play around with it. If you want to do something similar, just play with it. Just play with it. It's just for fun. So I'm going to measure from, not the tab, I'm going to let the tab just be on its own, 8 3/4 inches along the main part of the folder, excluding the tab. Okay? And so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to cut next to my ruler, and I'm going to stand up to do this, so if my head gets in the way, apologies, but it's safest. If you can put pressure on a rotary ruler. If you don't want to use a rotary cutter and a ruler, then mark it with a pencil and cut it, right? Just mark it and cut it. So this part that still has the binding folds, I'm going to just set that aside for a minute. And then what I'm going to use is, I'm going to come back to my ruler again. And I'm going to score it. I'm just going to turn it around because it'll be easier to measure from the straight side. And so I'm going to measure over 4 3/8 inches, which should give me, put this in the middle from here to here. This should be in the middle. We'll see. If it doesn't, we'll always wish it had been, right? So I'm going to measure 4 3/8 inches over, and then I'm going to score it. You could use a scoring board. You could use whatever. I'm just using a stylus. And then I'm just going to fold it in half. Looks like it worked pretty well. And I'm just going to reinforce that fold. Okay? Now, it's a little too long. I like the width of this, and you can see, because you never know whether they're going to, you know, do these, whether I'm off or they're off. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So now what I'm going to do is make it a little bit shorter. And so what I'm going to do is cut it down to 10 inches. Cut it down to 10 inches. So you can just sort of figure out which way you want it. I'm using the center tab. This is the way I'm going to have, this is going to be my front. And I'm just going to cut it down to 10 inches. And the easy way to do this is to use a big paper cutter, but it's over on the other side of the room. So I'm going to use my rotary cutter and cut it down to 10 inches because that seems like that's a good height for me. You're using a rotary cutter, people, always close the rotary cutter blade. Okay? If there is one thing that is incredibly dangerous, it is to cut with a rotary cutter and set it down and walk away. So always cut it, even if you're going to set it down for a second. Close the blade. So there is our little cover for our folder. And now I'm going to use the other piece of the folder, and I'm going to cut it down to make the pocket. Okay, so I'm going to cut it down where I can put it down here in the bottom, and this will be just a little pocket because you know what? I got to stick stuff in. So this fold right here is really obnoxious, and so I'm going to measure from the other side across, and what I need is 8 5/8 inches, and I can get 8 5/8 because there's this extension here. So I'm going to go 8 5/8, and I'm going to line that up on this tab right here. And then I'm going to cut this off. That just helps me get a straight cut. Hopefully. I don't need this whole thing by any means, but it's just easy enough to just cut it all the way off. Now I've gotten rid of that extra foldy bit out here from where it was folded in the box. Hi, Candy. All right, And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut up from the bottom, because that's where I've got the extra distance here. And I'm just going to cut across here, all the way across. And then this is extra to do whatever you want to do. Okay? And I'm going to turn this around, and now I'm going to measure 3 inches, and I'm going to cut it at 3 inches. And that's going to get rid of this little rounded part here. And the last thing to do now is to score this in half. So half of this is going to be, let's see, let me just measure because I think it is 4 3/8. It's not quite 4 3/8 inches. It's like between 4 1/4 and 4 3/8. So I'm just going to line that up. So it's 4 something 16th, but you know, I just go, it's right in between the 1/4 and the 3/8. That should, if all goes well, should get us in the middle of this. So we'll see how well I did, shall we? Pretty close, pretty close. And then I'm just going to burnish that just so it is in the middle. And you can also, if you have a Teflon bone folder, something else you can do that will help get rid of those creases in here is you can use a Teflon bone folder and just burnish over those, and sometimes that will help disguise those creases in your folder, make them flatter, a little bit flatter. You'll still see them a little bit, but it flattens them a little bit. Ta-da! Okay. Any questions so far? I don't see anything. All right, so here is my little folder. I have to come in a little bit farther than that. It's so nice to be able to zoom out and zoom in. And this is going to go down here in the bottom. And the reason it's a little bit shorter is so that it doesn't stick out when it's a little narrower in width, so that when we put it in here and bind it into this little thing, the ends don't stick out. If it does stick out, we just cut them off. Yeah, it is a ta-da. It is a ta-da. Okay, so that is that. That's how you do this. So if anybody needs measurements, you've seen it done. Here are measurements, just so you have an idea. This is done with the tab at one end. So these were third cut folders is what they're called. So you have a third with the tab here, a third with the tab in the middle, a third with the tab in the bottom. So I've been working with the ones where the tab was in the middle. This is one where the tab's at the end. But anyway, here are the measurements if you're interested in that. I don't expect anybody's going to do this, but you know, if you needed it or wanted it, you can stop the video, you can take screenshots, you can do whatever you need to do. So there's that. And here is the little pocket section. Alright, that's that. So the next thing I did, because I wanted to turn it black, and I didn't have any black file folders. They might make black file folders. If they do, that's great, but I didn't have one, and so I had to make mine black. And so what I did was I just used some inexpensive craft paint. So this is lamp black. You can see it right here. Lamp or ebony black. Deco Art Americana craft paint. Put it on my craft sheet, and I put on the paint, and I used a scraper. I'm not going to do this because I've already done it. I'm just telling you what I did. And then I used a scraper, and I scraped the paint all over. And then I let it dry, and then I turned it over, and I scraped paint on the other side. So it's black all the way around, and I did the same thing with the pocket. So that's what we have. So far, so good. So far, so good. All right, next up, what we're going to do with this is we're just going to start playing with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is Barbara Clark made hers Traveler's Notebook size. There you go. That's a good thing to do too. So it's black paint. Could be black gesso. I just use black craft paint. And now we're going to start messing with it. Okay, we're going to just start messing with it and see what we can do. This is where your creativity opens up. I have a whole basket. This is this thing over here that I'm wiggling with my hand. This whole thing over here is junk. And so we're going to play with the junk and see what we can come up with. But first of all, we're going to mess it up. So let's mess it up. We've got it nice and black, so let's mess it up. I don't know where you came from. I guess it came off this pencil. So I'm just using a white, this is a white Prismacolor pencil. Not for any reason other than to just make some marks on it and mess it up a little bit. Just mess it up a little bit. Okay? Because at this point, all we're after is just mess up the surface a little bit. Let's do this. We'll see if we can do the same thing on the pocket. And I'm only going to work on one side of the pocket because the inside's going to be out of my eyesight, so I don't care what it looks like. So I just used a white. This is just a white. This is actually really old. Anybody who knows the Prismacolor brand, this is a Sanford white pencil. It's old. It's old. It is old. Hi, Joey. So we've just messed it up, which is good. And now I'm going to put some paint on it because I think we should. And I have a couple of rollers that attach to the this handle. So it's a brayer, but it's a patterned brayer. So I'm going to get some paint here. Alright, so I just have some craft paints here in those colors. So I have Bahama Blue, Electric Pink, and Citron. And all I'm going to do is put a little bit, we may only use the polka dots instead of changing the brayer out. We may only use the polka dots because why not? Because why not? So let's put some Bahama Blue out here. You could do this, you could put pattern on here with a stencil. Does not have to be with anything that I'm doing. See if I can get everything in the same picture for you. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up some And this doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. This is just going to be for fun. Okay. And it's good if you put this on something, if your surface underneath is valuable, it's good if you put it on a craft mat. That way you can go off the edges even better. Okay, so just some dotty stuff, polka dotty. And I'm just cleaning off some of the excess color so I can change color. We are finally getting into a little bit of fall weather, which is great. So when we get up in the morning, it's nicer, so much nicer. What I'm going to do is take this paint and I'm just going to scrape it into my journal, just so I really hate wasting paint. I don't even care how cheap it is. I just hate wasting paint. So I'm just going to pick it up and stick it in here. And easily could have brayered the polka dots in here. That way you got, you know, we've got used up the leftover paint. Because why not? Because why not? Yeah, bubble wrap, sure. You absolutely could use bubble wrap for certain. Okay, let's use some green. So this is the citron. With a nice snotty paint booger. Don't you just hate that? Oh, I forgot to put some. I used up all my paint and didn't put any on this, so we'll just use a different color. On my pocket. So a little bit of green. It is a really good brayer. I got this brayer at Tuesday morning, believe it or not. Which is, for those of you not in the United States, is a kind of an outlet for all different kinds of things. Okay, so we've got some green polka dots, and I'm just going to turn it over, even though it's wet. And maybe let's see if we can pick up some more green and put some green polka dots on. This is going to be the outside. And now that I used up all the Bahama blue, I'm going to put out some more because I want to put some on this side. Yep, because why not? Because why not? That's the question of the day. Why not? That is the question of the day. Why not? So just going to pick up a little bit more of that. And it makes kind of an obnoxious noise, but you know. You need bright colors to show up on black. Okay, good enough. So I'm going to throw this in the journal. Just adding stuff to the journal. Ooh, 110. Woo! Well, it's still warming up in the day, but at least it's cooling off a lot more at night now. That doesn't mean it's going to be that way forever, because typically in the state where I live, it is unpredictable. And the joke is, if you don't like the weather, just stay till tomorrow, because it is guaranteed. The one thing about where I live is guaranteed to change. All right, let's put some pink on it. So thanks everybody for joining me today. I'm really glad you're here. Maybe we should change to the stripes. I wasn't going to, but you know, I'm thinking maybe we should. Both of these rollers came in the same package. I don't know if they still sell them like that, but like I said, I got them at Tuesday morning. This has been quite a few years ago now, and they were marked way down, so I don't know if they still sell them. Bye, Gail. Good to see you. All right, so let's do a few stripes and see what happens. Let's go this way. Okay, so we're just putting some color and pattern. Okay, so we have pocket, they're really nice, aren't they? Those brayers, patterned brayers. All right, let's pick up some more and see if we can put a little bit more over here. Of course, it's not enough. Of course, it's not enough. So what are you guys doing today? And are any of you, where you live, are you starting to return to any sort of normalcy in your life yet? Here, there's hints of it, and yet our positive cases is pretty high, so I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna call it good. Gotta say, it sometimes makes you a little nervous. Hi, Rhonda. Yeah, I don't know whether ours went out of business or not. I mean, the places that I have been since March, I can pretty much count on one hand. And most of it has stayed right here at this table. That's where most of my time is spent, right here. Okay, so we will get rid of these. I'm going to go put these in the sink so that I don't get them all over everywhere, so I'll be right back. Okay. Picking crab apples for jelly. That's good. What pink? You mean what pink in the bottle? It is electric pink. That's the color pink I used. Electric pink. It's one of my favorite colors. Cindy is back to normal after the hurricane. Oh, wow. Good for you. Oh, I'm glad you had a generator, too. Hi, Kathy. Thanks, Kathy. Hi, Catherine. Knitting lots of socks. That's cool. It's something I've never knitted. I've been thinking about it, but I've never knitted socks. I've been wanting to try it, but I never have. Die cutting and designing stencils. Well, Joan, that is what you do. You are good at that. You are good at that. Okay, so here is our cover, like so. The thing about it is, it doesn't matter how this turns out. Okay, we got to get that. We got to get that through our heads here. It doesn't matter how it turns out, because we're just having fun. Just having fun. I'm going to leave this nasty craft mat on the table here. Hey, Lisa. I'm going to leave this here so that when I get glue going, I can just not worry about what gets on my mat in the background. Alright, so let's play around, shall we? Let's play around. Let's just build something on this cover. We'll take the pocket out for now. So this is my front cover. I'm going to leave the tab on the back. This is my front cover. And I have a bunch of junk. And this is muslin fabric that was something that was left over from a class. And so I thought it would be fun to use some of it. Because we can, right? Because we can. Hi, Robin. That's right, Angie, that's true. She said, if your mat isn't messy, are you really having fun? That is true. So I'm just cutting off or tearing the edge of that. So let's do a piece like, I don't know, this big. This is where you just do and don't think. Okay? That was actually, this is actually fabric that was catching whatever it was I was doing, something that was very holy, as in lots of holes, not in that it was special, it was just had a lot of holes in it. And so I thought, don't waste the paint, put something under there, right? So I did. Alright, let's just go this far. And so I'm going to pull some of the threads to ravel out some of those threads. And sometimes if you don't, they'll ravel in spite of you, and it's very annoying. So sometimes if you just ravel it on purpose, it makes a cool look, and it also kind of helps solve the problem of getting rid of some of those raveling edges. So just ravel it on purpose and throw them away. Alright, so maybe we'll do that. So front cover. So maybe that's our foundation that we're going to start with. What do you think? Think that's okay? And then I have some really pretty, this is junk paper towels from, I think it was alcohol ink. Let's see about putting some paper towel. Yeah, especially if you're using fabric paint. It's a great thing to do. I mean, the fabric paint that I was using, I used enough of it that it's still a little, it added a little bit of stiffness to it, but not too much. So I'm just going to tear the edges of this just so it's not so pristine. Let's just go ahead and tear this. And I really am just doing and not thinking. I've been thinking enough lately. I'm going to let go of that stuff. Alright, let's just do a strip. So maybe we'll put, and I could totally change my mind about this too. And I know that I'm zoomed out quite a bit, but I thought it might be fun just to be able to see the whole thing. So maybe a strip of that. So that's paper towel that has alcohol ink on it. I'm digging to see what else I got in my junk over here. Here's some gold. Here's some gold. Who is it that says that? Is that the Marriottier? I know she likes gold. No, it's APG Jamie. That's who it is. Real gold. That's what she always says. It's real gold, people. It's real gold. That's right, Shelley. That's right. I thought about that probably just about the same time you typed it. Oh, look, I found some butterflies. You know me and butterflies. Tracy Dean sent me, I think it was Tracy Dean, wasn't it, Tracy Dean? Yeah, it was Tracy Dean. Sent me this great, beautiful note, handmade card, and some of the most fun butterflies going. I love those butterflies. I've used them in my journal. In fact, there's some of them right there. See? Those are some of the butterflies Tracy sent me. I don't know if I used any more of them in here. Look at her. I think she's cute. She's all made out of junk. Her hair's all junk. Okay, so we got a butterfly, so we might do something with that butterfly. I don't know. Hi, Linda. Uh-oh. We're talking about APG Jamie, and what happens? What happens? If you start talking about somebody, I can promise you they're going to show up. APG Jamie, I was talking about you and the real gold. I got real gold on here, Jamie. I got real gold on here. Do you see it? You see that? Real gold. Don't talk about people, because if you do, you better say something nice. That's what my mom always said anyway. If you can't say something nice, keep your mouth shut. So I'm just ripping out some of these butterflies. This is on cardstock, scrapbook cardstock. So we got some butterflies. What else do we want? What else do we want? Let me see what else is in here. Looking in my scraps of junk, my box of junk over here. How about this? I wonder if we can do something with this. Real goat. Yeah, that's what it is. Goat. That's what you got. Gold. Oh no, it had a gold tooth. Oh, how funny. How funny. Thank you, Linda. The same to you. Absolutely. Same to you. All right, so what this is these are stickers. These are Avery stickers. We did these on stream a long time ago. Long time ago. I don't know if they'll even pull out of here. Kind of, sort of, but not really. Kind of, sort of, but not really. These are oval stickers. But you wouldn't really know it by the way it just tore out or pulled off that background stuff. I don't think I had this much trouble with it when I created them. Do I want to cut it out or just use it? How about if we just use it? That's better. Let's just use it. And I'm going to tear this off because it took some of the paint for whatever reason. Oh, there's a little bit more. Oh well, we'll just layer it up somehow, shall we? See if we can. Goodness. You wouldn't think this would be that challenging to do, would you? Could be. It could be. Yeah, these definitely, well, of course they had paintiness on them, so. Okay, well, you're annoying me, so let's get a new one. Let's get a different one. That one was irritating me. And you know, life is too short to be irritated by your junk. If the stuff in your trash box irritates you, you need to stop. You need to stop. Yeah, you need to stop. All right. Okay, so let's put a piece of this. I don't know. Let's put a piece of that right there and just kind of see. All this is going to have to get glued together. It'll probably change 14 times before we get it glued together. It probably will. Right, APG Jamie? It probably will. Probably change 14 times before I get it glued down. I don't know. I kind of like the way it's going. What do you think? They do, don't they? Those butterflies are so pretty. I just love those butterflies, Tracy. Just love them. Somebody sent me, and I don't remember who it was now. No, I know that Noit sent me some butterflies that she had done. I saw her here earlier. I don't know if I said hello to her or not. I saw her name in the chat. That's right. That's right, Becky. If the junk in your trunk is bothering you, it needs to go to the dump. That's right. Noit sent me some butterflies that she had made with alcohol ink, but somebody else sent me some that were similar to the ones Tracy sent me. Amber. I think it was Amber sent me some. I thought they were so cool. I thought these will never hold up in my journal. And she told me, Amber told me that she got the ones she sent me from Dollar Tree. And she said they should be fine. And by golly, they are fine. I was amazed. Those are some good butterflies. Those are some good butterflies. Okay, so enough of that. I do have this pocket in here that we might do something with. I don't know what. Maybe we'll stick something like that on the flap, the pockety flap. We might put something up there. I don't know. I'm trying to get rid of this place where I tore it. Anyway, we have that. You like it? I think it's looking pretty good. Shall we glue it? I think we'll glue. What do you think? You ready to glue? Let's glue. It's just for fun. It doesn't make any difference. And yep, and Lady Jan sent me butterflies. She did. She sent me butterflies. Beautiful butterflies. In fact, she sent me pictures. Jan sent me pictures. She sent me pictures with butterflies. So these are pictures that she took. So I printed these out, and so I've got them ready to put in my journal. Some beautiful butterflies. Yeah. And she sent me some other ones too. Okay, so let's start gluing. I wonder if I can do this. When in doubt, take a picture. When in doubt, take a picture. Okay, that way I have something to look at here for a second till I get it stuck together. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all this and move it off. Let's just move all this off. And I'm going to stick these on. Now watch, the stickum will probably stick. Now that I don't want it to stick, it'll stick, right? Alright, about like so. Thank you, Joan. That was very sweet of you. My best journal things come from not thinking. Always. Always come from not thinking. Okay, so we got those stuck down. So let's stick this fabric down, shall we? So I was, we have a newspaper that comes out every day. I'm going to just put glue. I'm using 3-in-1 glue, and I'm just going to put it on part of this because it dries so fast. I'm just going to put it on part of this, stick it down, and then I'll put the rest of it. Anyway, our newspaper we publish a newspaper every day. It comes out. It's free. And it is creative inspiration. So we curate articles from all over. And one of the articles that the paper picked up was from, her name is Rika, R-I-K-K-A, and her last name is K-O-V-A-S-I-N, and I have no idea how you pronounce that. And one of the things that she said, she was art journaling, and she used a phrase, and I don't remember what she did to do this, but it was the phrase that triggered me. And the phrase was her favorite way to break a blank page. Her favorite way to break a blank page. Isn't that a great concept, a great phrase? So what do you guys do to break a blank page? If you're a journaler, what do you do to break the page? Break it in. Get it ready. What do you do? Okay. I don't know that that's enough, but it's as much as it's going to get. Hey, Julie. I was watching a Jerry's Artorama video a few weeks ago, and they had Amy, who is the regular person on there for the Jerry's Live programs, and Ophelia was on with her as a guest, and they were doing, let's see, abstract, because that's what Ophelia does. She does abstract canvases, and Amy doesn't. Amy is a fabulous artist, but her thing is realism, I believe. At least that's what it seems like to me, because the abstract was a great challenge for her. Would be for me. I don't do abstract very well either. It is intimidating as all get out. Anytime I've done an abstract class, I am shaking in my boots. And anyway, Ophelia was doing challenging Amy. And one of the things that she did that I thought was so funny and understandable is after I think she started out with a white canvas, and I'm going from memory here. I think the first thing she did was use a jumbo black pencil and make marks all over the canvas. Just random scribbly marks. And then she said, and the next thing I do is apologize to the canvas. So she makes marks all over it, and then she apologizes to it. I thought that was pretty funny. These stickers have glass bead gel on them, and so they don't cut very well. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. I'm going to see how close I can get in here. See that? That's glass bead gel. See how shiny that is? Look how close I can get to that camera. You guys, I am like 4 inches from this camera. And it's focusing. Hallelujah. Now if we can just look, and it's focused down here too. Oh, I love you, camera. Anyway, yeah, but I just thought that was funny. So she breaks the canvas by scribbling all over it, and then she apologizes to it. I thought that was great. Catherine, daily blank journal page, paste cat photo first, journal around it at day's end. Ah, that's cool. Jamie says she doesn't have much issue with blank pages, but procrastination on things that she wants to do. Yep. Figuring out what colors. Sherry doesn't like to break things. Hi, Denise. I know, but I don't think of it as abstract art. I just think of it as playing, and that's the difference. That's the difference. That's the difference. All in your head. It's all in your head. Yep, it's all in your head. Okay, so let's put these together, and then we'll put this on that. How's that? What do you say? Think that's good? Let's stick this little butterfly on here. This butterfly needs to be roughed up a little bit. It's got a straight edge over here, which Barbara Clark starts with color and then goes from there on the journey. Okay. All right, let's just put some on. Let's just put some on here. Don't worry about it. Just put it on. See, I don't think of this too much as abstract because I'm doing like real butterflies. It's real butterflies. Can't be abstract. It's a real thing, right? Sorry about the voice. It just sometimes has a mind of its own. Sometimes has a mind of its own. So we're going to put some butterflies on here. do love butterflies. I do love butterflies. Powerful image butterflies. All right, let's glue this whole thing on there. See what happens. And I'm just using 3-in-1 glue because it grabs really fast. So that's what I'm using, why I'm using it. Of course, I have a fan blowing on me, so it is drying a little faster than would be ideal. And sometimes sometimes the glue gets a mind of its own, and it sticks someplace where you didn't intend for it to stick. So that's when you go, oh, okay, that's apparently where it was going, where it wanted to live, huh? Apparently, that is where it wanted to live. All right. So let's put this back on here. Don't get inside your head, Denise. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you, Linda. You are sweet. It is all junk, people. It is all junk. Except for the file folder. It was new. File folder was new. The rest of it is junk. We literally pulled it out of the scrap bin. And believe me, I don't know what it is about scraps, but boy, it's hard for me to throw them away. Is it hard for you guys to throw scraps away? Ugh. What is up with that? All right, let's put this on here. I have been known to throw scraps in the trash, and about 2 minutes later, I dig them back out. You guys, tell me I am not the only one that does that. Scraps. Why? What? Do I think that there's going to be a shortage of scraps or what? I do the same thing with fabric scraps, and then every once in a while, and you've been here when I've done some of my scrap projects, and I think, oh, I'm going to really put a dent in this pile of fabric scraps. And the only thing I do is make more scraps. That's all I do. All right. Sometimes it's very annoying when you do that. You do the same. Oh, I'm so glad. Linda McAllister only does it sometimes. Do I organize my scraps? Yeah, I'll show you how they're organized, Catherine. See? That's how they're organized. It's one of 2 bins. That's how well they're organized. I guess it's more fun for me to dig than it is to know what I'm going to do with whatever it is. I guess it's more fun. I don't know. Okay, we need to do a little something on the back, don't you think? Just not much, but just something. I know, Catherine. I know that, but it's organized chaos. It's organized chaos, sort of. Look, same color. Can you tell that I like those colors? So I'm gonna just pull a scrap off of this. This is deli paper that was Oh, that's the right side. I was thinking, oh, that's really pretty. This is the right side. Look. It's like, why is this so smooth? Well, it's because I was on the wrong side of the... I was on the other right side. It's like fabric. There's the right side and the other right side. Okay. That's right. If it talks to you, stick it on there. If it's talking to you, you better use it. Okay. I'm not going to do a whole lot on the back over here. I'm just going to put this on here and maybe put some goat on it, right, Jamie? Put some goat on it. I think we should put some goat, some real goat. Sounds like I'm saying G-O-A-T. I'm saying G-O-L-D-T. Put some gold on it. And let's put one more thing on it. Linda McAllister has 3 boxes of scrap. All right. Good for you. It is good to have 3 boxes of scraps. That way you have lots. Oh, look, my favorite. We're gonna have to get that out. We're gonna have to get that out. I love this little hand image. We're gonna have to do something with that hand. And then I have this hand. I might have to do something with this one too. Do I have any others on here? This one is more visible. Let's pull that one out of this. This is a jelly plate print. My guess is that this was a second generation print or something. Isn't that sweet? I love those little hands. Love that little image. Okay. Oh, more scraps and more scraps and more scraps. All right, let's set these aside for the moment. Let's just set this aside for the moment. I need to look at the other side. Is there a place where we can put this little hand? Not really. All right. We'll put it. Maybe we'll put this one inside. Maybe we'll decorate the pocket. Or we could put the hands so that they go the right way. We could do that. Okay. All right, we'll do that. Okay. Ah, that made me so happy. That made me so happy. Oh, Jan's dining room table's been missing since 2012. Oh, I don't feel so bad now. Yeah, my dining table is kind of in that same, suffering from that same dilemma. Actually, we've not done too badly here today, getting something actually accomplished. That rarely happens for me here with the stream. I usually get it started and then have to finish it later. Whatever it is. We're actually making some good headway. It helps if you don't care. It helps if you don't care, if you just go for it and don't care what the outcome is. So we're going to put this in here. I do like the back side of this paper too. That's a lesson. Always look at the other side of the deli paper before you stick it on something, because you might like the other side better. But I do like the front side actually better than the back side. Choices, choices, choices. Okay, so let's stick it on here. Okay, front, inside. I'm not going to decorate the inside and the back for the moment. I may put words on it or something, because that tends to be what I love to do, is to put words on things. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of cut around this in a perfectly imperfect way. I would tear it, but it's going to take too long to tear around this. And it is deli paper, so it's a little on the fragile side. You're trying to convince your brother to get a cat? That's right, Catherine. If you don't have to share the space with anybody else, just do what you want. All right, this one is a bigger image, so I'm going to kind of trim out the fingers a little bit more. These, the masks for these hands, I bought at Hobby Lobby. I can't even tell you how many years ago. These shapes. Bought them not having any idea what I was going to do with them. I mean, I've had them for probably, gosh, I don't know, 15 years or more. They were so cheap. It was back when I didn't even do much of any of this kind of stuff like this. And I bought those masks and I'm like, what in the world will I ever do with those? But they were too good to pass up. They were just too good to pass up. Okay, I'm going to stick these in with glue stick because I want to stick down all the little edges. Yeah, cutter bee. These are cutter bee scissors here. Yeah, those are cutter bees. Cutter bees are really great little scissors. Very sharp. Super, super sharp. Alright, I gotta find the lid to my glue. Otherwise, that's going to be irritating. You bought new little scissors and they're terrible? That's too bad. The cutter bees are really... These are so good, you have to keep the lid. You have to keep the lid on. You have to keep them in their little house. If you don't keep them in their little house, you will be sorry. glue stickage. They are. I even keep the cover on my Tim Holtz scissors. Again, because I've cut my hand with those before. And those little cutter bees, you can cut your hand with those. Besides that, they just stay sharp longer if you take care of them. Have you noticed that? If you take care of your stuff, it lasts longer. Yeah. Take care of your stuff. It'll last longer. Who said that? Oh, I know who it was. It was my mother. All right, I'm going to trim these out a little bit more. Now I've changed my mind. I said I wasn't going to trim this out, but now I've changed my mind. It's my mind. I can change it if I want to. We got in the mail on Wednesday, we got a box of stuff, food stuff that came all the way from California. Isabel and Race sent us a box of full to the brim with avocados and guava, which I had never eaten, and passion fruit. That was pretty exciting. I counted the avocados. There were 19 avocados. 19 avocados, along with all the rest of that. 19. I was amazed. And it made the trip. Everything made the trip. There was no big casualty on the way. Thank goodness for priority mail. And it came straight through. Exactly. Holy guacamole. For sure. Oops, too far over. I saw the question about the Tim Holtz little scissors. I don't have them, so I just have the medium-sized ones. How did I blunt the end of that finger? Don't know that I'm going to be able to get it back up. We'll just have to live with it. That's okay. It was really sweet. It was really sweet of them. So last night we had cantaloupe. For dinner, we had cantaloupe and guava. Boy, those have some hard little seeds in them. Whew! Those have some hard seeds in them. And I took the seeds out because it's like, yeah, it's not worth breaking a tooth on those. And so cantaloupe and guava with a little bit of honey over the guava, and then passion fruit on top of that. Now that was some good eating. And then I made some homemade almond bread. It's a grain-free almond bread. That's kind of cute. What do you guys think? We need one more element on here because this is... So you'll only see that much at one time, or this much. I don't know. Maybe we'll put one more here. I don't know. Let me think. Let me think on it. Okay, Becky. Sending you lots of good energy. Lots and lots and lots of good energy. Alright, I'm just looking to see if I can find something else to put on this. Some little something something. I'll just wait, and if I want to put something on it, I'll add some stickers or something. I've got all kinds of sticker things. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and glue this around the edge, glue this little pocket around the edge, and then we'll bind some pages into it. I was going to stitch around the edge, but I don't know if you guys want to watch that or not. Okay, I'm just putting a little bit of glue around the edge. Hopefully I got it on the, hopefully I put it on the bottom and the side as intended. Yeah, that was really nice to get something that I was not, I mean, I know avocado. We can get avocados here, although they're pretty expensive. Passion fruit and guava, I was absolutely not familiar with either one. And so that was fun to have something else something I wasn't familiar with to experience. Ray said that the passion fruit, when he was showing us on FaceTime, he called it, he says, it looks like frog spawn. Well, now there's something that just makes you go, mmm. He always was one for descriptive terminology. Okay, that's good enough. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. All right, put the lid back on the glue. As soon as I find it. Oh no, where'd the lid go? Hello, lid to the glue. Where'd you go? Oh, good gravy. Here it is. Hiding from me. YouTube hates you, Linda? Oh no. Oh no. Jazz hands. Yeah. Jazz hands. All right. I think what we're going to do is go ahead and bind the pages in. And then once this is totally and completely dry, I'll come back and stitch that. But I don't want to do that with that glue being wet at all. So, okay, front cover, back cover. Front cover has all the stuff on it. Back cover, not so much. Little pocket has hands on it. My favorite things are all on there. Okay, so let's talk about some pages. I have with me, I have some drawing paper, and I have all this junk. Let's get all this junk out of the way. I'm going to throw away some scraps. Look out, even there's some little butterfly scrappage on there. I'm still throwing that away. Okay. So I have some drawing paper, and I have a couple of kinds of craft paper. One of them has lines on the other side. Hi, Alicia. And then this is also graph paper, but it's plain on the other side. So let's take, I don't know, let's do 3 pieces. The thing about binding your own book is that if you don't like it, you can just clip the threads and rebind it. Super easy to clip the threads and rebind it. Hi, Mary. Thank you. Thank you, Marion. She's proud of me because I threw away some scraps, right? Is that what you're proud of me for? Dorothy loves passion fruit. I had never tasted it. Never tasted it. Okay, so we have 9 pieces of paper. 9 times 4 will give us 36 pages. That's good. That's good for this. Alrighty, so let's see if we can get the lines going the right way. I'm going to take one piece because I can't remember. I've used this before, but I don't remember if this works the way I want it to. I don't know if you can see, it has lines on the reverse side, and then on the other side it's graph paper. So just checking to see if it's the right. Oh, it's like exactly the right size. I might have to true it up a smidgen. You know how much a smidgen is? It is not very much. It is not very much. I've got so much glue and garbage on my hands that it's hard to feel stuff. Oh, so sorry about the throat. I have talked too much today, and that just happens when I talk a lot. My throat goes its own direction. Just goes its own direction. Okay, so I'm just going to fold these all at the same time. Because I can, just because I can. And then we'll separate those out. And then let's see what we can do with these. This is drawing paper. Strathmore drawing paper. And just to be different, I'm going to fold them the other way so that they are shorter, I think. Let me think here. I know I'm going to have to cut these down a little bit. Let's cut these down first. We'll do this first. All right. Let's get one. Do one the way, get the measurement the way we want. And then we'll be able to move on, huh? Jamie says some bodies need to up their thumbs. There you go. Yep, thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. It's always nice. All right, I'm going to cut this down to 4 1/8 inches and see what I think of that. And I'm not going to worry too much about the creeping on the leading edge when the pages are nested together. I'm going to try and give it enough room that... All right, we're going to cut these down to 4 1/8, and then we'll see if we have to cut any of them anymore. All right, 4 1/8. I realized when I was recording this week that every class I record, I always say something about how much fun it is. I think probably every class without exception. And I thought, boy, that's sounding so redundant. People are going to get sick of that. And I thought, you know what? That is what we need to have more of. More fun. So I'm not going to apologize for that. I am not going to apologize for that. We are just going to go with it, and we're just going to have fun. I spent way too much of my life not having fun. So, by golly, And you know what? You can have fun even if it's just in your head. Even if you can't go anywhere, which most of us haven't been able to do for quite a while. Go any fun places, do any super fun stuff. You can still go there in your mind. I go to the ocean every single day. Every single day I go to the ocean because that is a great place for me to go. I only go in my head, but it is a great thing to do. For me. Might not be for you, but it is for me. Oop, well that was a crooked cut. Oh well. Oh well. Too bad, so sad. If Reese's doesn't have to apologize for thin peanut butter cups, I don't have to apologize for having fun. Out loud. That's right. Thank you for that. Jersey gets me. Jersey gets me. You guys don't follow Laura Jersey. You need to do that. She does, her creative space is called The Bubble. That is such a great name. If I'd thought of that first, me and Laura, I'd have taken that. I'd have snatched that right away. I'd have snatched that. Yes, I would. Okay, let's see how tall we want to make these. And then I'll do the drawing papers after that. So let's see. Let's go about that far. How big is that, you ask? I don't know. We're going to have to measure. We're going to have to measure it out. So about nine. I'm going to do 9.5. It's actually 9 5/8, but I don't want to do 5/8. Let's just do 9.5. I can remember that. I can remember 9.5. That's not hard. We had enough 8s going on earlier today. Let's do 1 and check it and see if we think it's okay. Hi, Elizabeth. Oh, Tracy, I'm sorry. Sending you big, big energy, big love. Lots of energy. Prayers and love. It's never easy with parents in hospitals, for certain. Now, because this is a file folder, you see this corner up here has the file folder rounded thing. If you want to round the corners, the other corners, you can do that. If you want to mimic this, the file folder shape, you can do that. There's punches out there that'll do that. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to worry about it. All right, looks like 9.5 is going to work. So I'm going to go 9.5. So everybody send Tracy and her family a lot of love. Unexpected family things are a great challenge. A great challenge. Okay, 9.5. I know I could do these more than one at a time, but you know. Who's hurrying? Who's hurrying? If you got things you got to do, if you got places you got to go, because I'm being too pokey, that's fine. I get it. One of the things I've always enjoyed is watching how people do things, watching how they hold a tool and how they, you know, like this, how they cut things and line things up and all that sort of thing. So I thought maybe that would be something that you might find valuable as well. This poor rotary cutter blade it cuts everything. cuts everything. I've cut fabric, I cut chipboard, I cut you name it. The poor thing needs a serious change of blade, but until it just absolutely stops cutting, I'm not doing it. See, it's got crud. I don't know if you can see that. It's got adhesive and crud and all kinds of stuff. It just keeps cutting. The best blade ever, so I just keep using it. All right, so let's take these papers and look at that. Acumpucky right there on my sheet. Okay, let's put these in here. I'm just going to nest 2 of these for the moment. Bye, Jan. So I'm just going to nest 2 of these together like so. And I'm going to then put those inside each other like that. And this is what I was talking about. They're going to creep. When you nest pages together, they're going to creep on the front edge. If that bothers you, then you got to cut them off. But I'm not going to let that bother me. As long as it doesn't stick out the front edge, I'm good. If it sticks out the front edge, then we might have a problem. All right, so let's take this and let's see what size this paper is. This paper is 9 inches tall. Okay. I think I'm only going to get 1 sheet out of this no matter what I do. Yep. Okay. We're just going to fold them individually, cut them, and see if we can put these in the book. Because I just wanted a different kind of paper. And this is heavier, so it's going to be... it's not even cut squarely. Oh well. Can't worry about it. Elizabeth has nothing to do and nowhere to go. Good for you. Well, come hang out with us. Alrighty, now, what was it? Our measurement was 4 3/8. Is that what it was? Let's see, short memory. 4 1/8. Right? I think so. Alright, I'm going to have to stand up to cut. So if my head gets in the way, apologies. Oop, my chat disconnected. Why is that? Alright, hold on a minute. All right. Hang on, I'm just trying to fix my chat here. Can't see chat, so if you guys are talking to me, Okay. Everybody hang tight because I can't see the chat here. All right. Don't know why. Okay. So I can see the chat on my phone. Could somebody put in the chat whether you're seeing me? Because I can't tell for sure. I can see. Okay, I see me moving. You see me? Okay. All right. Okay. It's just my, for some reason, my, where I'm monitoring the chat, I lost it. So hang on just a minute. I'm trying to get that back so I don't have to watch it on the phone because it's infinitely easier for me to watch it elsewhere. If not, I'll watch the chat on my phone here. Who knows? Okay. Apparently my laptop browser just decided to take a dump, but you know, stranger things have happened. All right, so if it takes me a little bit longer to notice chat, it's because I'm not watching it in my the regular way. Not that I always interact with the chat super well. Okay, Barbara, thank you. Okay, I gotta stand up. And then we have one more piece to do, and then we'll cut the length, and then we'll see if we can bind this puppy together. Shelly, how are you today anyway? I hope you're doing okay. All right, now we need to do the length, and let's see, 9.5 is what we did, right? I don't know why it is. Sorry about the head. Sorry about the headshot. It's just so much better if you can stand up. Okay, now let's try this again. Okay, now I got the chat back. Crazy chat. Golly. You're cleaning out your stash? We need to talk, don't we? And one more. See, if you knew what you were going to do, if everything, you knew the exact sizes of everything, you could have all this pre-done. Which for normal class things I do, but when we're streaming and just doing stuff, yeah, most of the time I figure it out as I go along. Yeah, exactly, Shelley. And which mandala, Kathy? Are you talking to me or somebody else? Because I know there are other people that do. There are other people that do mandalas. I do know that. Okay. So let's nest these together. I'm just doing one signature. And I'm just alternating papers. And then we're going to just stick them all together in one, like so. And then we'll see. All right. All right, let's see if this will fit in here. It looks like it will, and it won't stick out the front. It's just a little, the pages are big enough that you really have, you have plenty of space to write on, so you don't need just a ton of pages for a little book like this. Okay, so I need to stop saying that. I hear you, Miss Shelley. More projects than you can shake a stick at, right? I'm going to clip these pages together like this. This is not going to be the best binding job in the whole wide world, I'll tell you. But we're going to give it a shot here. Well, that won't work. We'll put it this way. Okay. Now, I did this at, I need to take 1/4 of an inch off of each end of this, because I did this for a 10-inch, and actually what we have is 9.5. So, I'm going to take we go 9 3/4. I'll explain to you what I'm doing here in just a minute. And I'm going to just do this with a pencil if I can find one. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Okay, I'm going to take 1/4 inch off each end of this. That should make this the right size to pattern for the holes. If I don't have the holes, the end holes too close to the edge. Now they're all right. Okay, good. All right, let's see if these fit. Shall we? Okay, top. Oh, it fits. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. All right, so what I did was I took a 2-inch piece of cardstock, scored it, folded it down the middle. And I originally had it at 10 inches long because that's how long I thought I was going to do the pages. But I did the pages at 9.5. That's why I had to shorten it just a little bit. I've put 5 holes in here, 1 in the middle, 2 about 1/2 inch from the ends, and then just randomly 2 more. And to do that, I just take my Tim Holtz ruler, which is a centering ruler, and of course I have buried it under stuff here somewhere. I've totally and completely buried it. But it's a centering ruler, so I put 0 in the center and then just measure out an even distance to both sides. It makes it really easy. You could do it randomly. You could do it by eye. A lot of people don't do this. They don't make a template. Everybody's got to do what they're comfortable with. I prefer to have a template. And this is a piercing cradle that Clausman made for me. And that's the way I like to do it. So then my holes are in the spine of the book. And it's all done, ready to go in, hopefully. Now we have to put the holes in here. And this, because the book is a little bit taller, the cover is a little bit taller than the pages, I'm just going to, by guess and by golly, center it in there and punch the holes. Well, that's a pain in the butt. They should not be doing that. What's the matter with those? Okay, so with any luck and a big wind, this should match up. Shall we find out? Let's find out. Let's find out. All right, this is up at the top of my pages, and so this should come together. I'm going to use wax linen because I like it. That is really annoying. I'm going to have to look into that. Going to have to look into that. And then I'm going to take three times the length of thread, 3 times the height of the book, and usually I go just a little bit more, just because, and then I let go of it, so we got to do it again. 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more. Yeah, they should know that politics don't have any place here. They should know that. They should know that. Yeah, I will look into that when I get off and see what we need to do a setting to get rid of that. Okay. So this is a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. I'm going to start in the center. I'm going to leave the thread tails in the middle, like so. And then I'm just going to stitch in and out. So into the cover, into the signature. Out through the signature, out through the cover. So I've gone one direction. Okay, so I've gone one direction. There's the stitch. Then I'm going to come back and fill the gaps. So I'm stitching back into the same holes, but filling the gaps between the holes now. Oops, I just pulled the tail out, so I'm going to have to see this. This is what you don't want to do. When you look at the chat and you're paying attention to that instead of what you're doing, this tail should be inside the book. I pulled it out accidentally. So we're going to have to rethread the needle and put it back where it belongs. So in through the cover, in, and then come out through the signature. Into the middle of the book. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it just goes in like butter, and sometimes it's just a royal pain in the tush. But by using a template, I find most of the time by using a template that the holes line up pretty well. I know Shannon Green always says that if she punches an extra hole, it's just an air hole. Shannon has some great expressions. If you don't subscribe to Shannon's channel, she is doing videos again, and I heartily suggest that you do that. Whoops. This one needs to stay in the inside of the book. This one, which I accidentally pulled out, I need to... Chance has decided that he has been in there long enough. He's now at the door whining. He says, "You have had me cooped up in here long enough. I'm done. Open the door," he says. Whoops. You got to get it all the way through. This is one of those things that is so much easier to do than it is to talk about or to keep it under a camera. Yeah. Alright, so this is what it should look like. You should have one continuous line of stitching. Okay, one continuous line. That's the appearance. That's not how we stitched it but that's the appearance of it. Okay, that is the appearance of it. And then you just tighten things up as you need to. Okay, I think I've got the slack out of the stitching enough to be okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie these threads. Shannon Green, Green, and her channel I believe is by Shannon Green. So tie the tail ends together just like this, and I do maybe 3 knots and then cut the ends off. The one thing that I don't do, some people do, is I don't end. I've done it once, and that was, I ended up cutting it off. Here's an example of where I bound the same way, and I put beads on this, and then when I'd open my book to work on it, the book would roll around on the beads. It just drives me batty. So I don't do that. I don't do that anymore. If you want to have dangles on your book, put them at the bottom or at the top. Don't put them in the middle, unless you're not going to work in your book. If it's just to look at, put them in the middle. It's fine. Okay, so we are bound together. Here's our little pocket. Get a bookmark. Look at these cute bookmarks I have. These are supposed to be for coloring in. I think it was a case of I got caught by the cuteness factor. You're supposed to color these in. The chances of me coloring those in are slim to none. But anyway, it shows you that there's a pocket there. So there's a pocket. There's a little pocket. So probably what I will do is machine stitch around this. That way it will make sure that this pocket stays secure all the way around. So that's probably what I'll do. But I won't do that on here. The kind of thread I used is a waxed linen. This is waxed linen, and it is, I think this is a 2-cord. We'll find out. Yes, this is a 2-cord waxed linen. So that's the thread I'm using, 2 cords. I also have some that are 3 cords, but this is 2. 3 cords is heavier than the 2 cords. And so what I do with the thread is or with the label, because this is the label that was around the spool. So what I do when I get the thread is I just roll that up and I stick it inside the spool, and that way I always know what it is. You're welcome. Okay, so that is that. And believe it or not, we completed one entire project from beginning to end, other than the fact that I didn't paint the black because I knew that had to dry. But from a distance, that's what it looks like. And here's my hand, so you can see it's tall. But I like stuff like this. I like these tall, skinny journals. And let's see if I got the lines going the right way. I did. Can you see that? Probably not. Let's look over here. You can see it over here. Look, the lines go the right way. So you can they're usable. Otherwise, you'd have to turn the book this way and write this way. Yeah. Can I take what out? Can I take what out, Miss Jamie? Sorry, I'm not sure I follow. Hi, Julie. I missed the conversation. Okay, so there it is. There's the front. There's the back. All done. It's cute. It's cute. I might put something on it to tie it closed, but other than that, I like it. It's a fun little project made from a file folder. And you have some stuff left over, so there's some pieces and parts of the file folder left over, so you can make bookmarks out of that. Like these. So you can make bookmarks like that. This bookmark is black cardstock, just to show you. This bookmark is black cardstock with paper towel over it. That's paper towel in the background. And this is a stamp, and then this was a little phrase from probably one of the Tim Holtz things that I cut apart and put on there. Yeah, easy peasy, huh? So you can always make bookmarks. And I'll tell you, as many bookmarks as I have, I run out and I still dog-ear the pages. Go figure. Okay, any final questions? Yeah, leftovers from my stash, exactly. Okay. I don't see anything else, so thank you all for joining me today. I will see you next Friday. Next Friday. Thanks for joining me. I will see VIP members tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Check your email for all the information. I will see you then, and until next time, as always, remember to get creative today because you know it's easy, and I will see you next Friday. Bye, everybody.